You know, when you guys invaded us, as kids, Aaron said something that really stuck out to me. He said that this is a reminder that humanity is cattle. That we were trapped in a cage. Not that we became livestock, but we always were. We had just merely forgotten. But you guys woke humanity up. Woke us up to something Aaron was saying all along. The idea of freedom Aaron was talking about long ago was completely different from the freedom he wants now. It was about humanity escaping the slaughterhouse as cattle, to stop themselves from walking to their deaths, being eaten alive. But as time went on, you warped that cage from that of one holding livestock to a bird. What Aaron desires now more than anything is freedom. The freedom to fly across the world, wherever he desires, without worry of an enemy in sight. It's similar, but shaped completely different. He no longer thinks of humanity as simply cattle. But that makes me wonder, what is Aaron trying to do now? Is he acting as the reminder humanity needs and waking the world up to how weak they are? Or is he breaking free of the cage you placed him in, so he can fly without worry? Those are the two options, but more important than that, I wonder, which of those options is right?
Watch your tongue. You're really going to speak so carefree about his slaughter in front of his victims? Where are your ethics?
You're one to talk. Captain Levi told us what you did to his squad. I'd have him confirm it for us, but look at the state that you Marleyans put him in.
Things were different back then. What's happened since then doesn't have anything to do with me. It was your captain's choice to become a suicidal bastard.
Don't speak so half-heartedly, knowing we all chose to become suicidal bastards years ago when we joined the Scouts, Aaron included, to combat you, the enemy who, unbeknownst to us, spent years by our side. I never even wanted to join the Scouts, not until Trost. I felt so useless.
No, you're wrong on one thing, Jean. Aaron never became one. Unlike us, he was born that way.
Because he was born into a cruel world, one of your own creation. And even being revealed as the enemy, Aaron didn't want to admit it.
Even as we were fighting you in Stois, Aaron still wanted to see you as a friend. It made him conflicted.
And he hesitated. He couldn't even transform without the drive to fight you, even though you were always cruel and trying to take Aaron away from us. You were always heartless.
Hey, Mikasa, calm down. That's not...
Calm? I'm tremendously calm, considering how much I'm having to hold myself back from acting on my desperate want to kill you all right now.
For everything you've done to me and Armin, and the rest of us, and for everything you've put Aaron through, he doesn't want this. He isn't doing any of this now because he wants to. He's doing it because he was forced to. You forced his hand. You made Aaron kill everyone in the world. He's doing all this now because he has to. You left him no other option. You did that to Aaron. Look at how far you've made him go.
And it's still not enough for you. And now you're asking for our help. His very own friends to turn against him because you want to take it farther. You just can't give it up, even with the sake of the entire world. You want to escalate the violence even further. I could never forgive you for that.
He chose this on his own. Don't act like any of this is natural. Aaron isn't normal. It doesn't matter how far he was pushed. This is the whole world we're talking about. What kind of psychopath could do something like this? What's more, you've seen it yourself, just like I have. We all have. Aaron is insane. He always was. That's in his nature. He was going to do this whether we pushed him or not. He hasn't changed. He was always this cruel.
Annie, both back then and now, you didn't have to be so cruel. You chose to spare me after all.
Don't be so kind around the enemy, Armin. You have Bertolt's memories after all.
But
She betrayed us once, or have you forgotten that already? I bet she's just itching to do it again.
I just did what I was told, with the promise of returning home. None of this was my decision. You all just got in the way.
Yeah, perpetuating the current system that leads to this senseless cycle of violence. It's the same bullshit excuse you're doing now.
Mikasa, please. Annie, aren't you just making excuses?
Excuses? Bertolt must really be influencing you, eh, Armin?
Huh?
To say I'm the one making excuses? You mean just like what you're trying to do for Eren?
Don't act like you know him.
Don't get too emotional, John. I spent years with him too. I know him just as well as you.
Don't tell us how to feel, you traitor! My mother was turned into a monster because of you bastards! I joined the scouts to defend Ragako village against the threats you people sent our way! And all of it ended up being worthless! I couldn't do anything for my friends or family back home! You evil bastards make me feel so useless and I can't even stand it!
Connie.
I'm sure that's how Eren feels now. The difference between him and us is he actually has the capability to do something about it! That's the only reason he's the one out there instead of one of us!
Hey, Connie, now that I think of it, remember what Eren told us when we joined the Scouts? His own mother was eaten by a Titan, right before his very eyes. He didn't just feel powerless, he was powerless, as those bastards killed his mother in the most horrific way possible, right in front of him. And they did it, all while smiling.
You don't get to say that.
Don't I?
You don't know what we've been through.
Well, then you better speak up. Though I doubt whatever tragic backstory you cough up won't come close to doing anything to justify it, or change how we feel. People don't change. If they were going to, they would have already. And even if a few do change, what difference would it make if most people don't? It would be the same outcome, no matter what.
And even if we did the impossible and somehow managed to change everyone, then what? They'll still invade our land and kill us. Just like you did. Just because a person changes doesn't mean their actions will. They aren't killing us just because they don't like us. There's more than one reason. So removing one of those reasons doesn't remove the source of the problem. And right now, Eren is stemming out that source.
When we first came to Marley, we helped a kid who was about to be punished for pickpocketing. In the end, he became our friend, but he chose to steal from us anyway. It didn't matter how he thought of us, because his needs didn't change. In the same way he still needed those resources, the world will still need ours, or worse. Even if they were to sympathize with us, they still need us dead, considering our risk to the world. That disagreement will always be there, regardless of the world's feelings towards us.
It doesn't matter how innocent we are, even if we beg and plead. What kind of reasonable person would fully trust someone born with a bomb strapped to their chest, knowing it could go off at any moment? It's just not safe to let someone like that go free. Even if they didn't kill us all, they would make our lives miserable. It wouldn't even be a life worth living at that point.
It's for the sake of the world.
We didn't even know there was a world outside the walls until recently.
And you expect us to care about it, like it mattered all along?
Don't be ignorant.
Easy for you to say. You got to sit back and watch from the comfort of your own homes, as the world formed an alliance to wipe us all out.
In the same way you're sitting back now, to watch the world burn. Just like a devil.
We're not devils. We're innocent people.
Yeah? So are the people all over the world.
Oh, give me a break. Everyone's done something. They're no less innocent than the rest of us. Don't act like there aren't murderers all over the world. We tried for peace. We really did. Even though we didn't have to. At least we made the attempt. And yet, even while completely unprovoked, The world itself was fine with intentionally lying about us, forming an alliance, declaring war, and becoming murderers for a one-sided battle to completely annihilate us. We would have been lambs to the slaughter. There wouldn't have been any mercy, unlike what we showed you in Liberia. And you expect us to sit back and ignore that?
After you attacked us, the only regret I have is not pushing harder. If we wiped you out even earlier, we could have saved Liberia. You know, Eren taking out all of the world's politicians paints a bad image. It tells them that we have an incompetent security, that Marley is weak. We, the powerhouse of the world.
They aren't human. They wouldn't consider something like that.
Tell me, how did you feel as you senselessly murdered us?
The first time I saw a human life being taken away in front of me, it was one of you. It was Marco. At the time, it confused me, because it made me feel something. For you people. Then afterwards, I started to dream about that moment. That's when I became scared. Scared of my own humanity, mistaking you all for people, and scared my own emotions would get in the way of completing my emotions. So I killed that humanity, and locked those emotions away. So how did I feel as I stomped on those corpses? I felt completely empty inside.
You're so comfortable lying about us, even straight to our faces, and even tossing around the term devil, knowing we're just like you. Yet when we start acting like one of the devils you so easily call us, you come running to us, devils, for help? What kind of sense does that make? If you're going to do it, at least do it begging, tears in your eyes, groveling on your knees for forgiveness, instead of slandering us like you're superior the whole time. We don't have to look up to you or listen to your orders. We're fine with sitting back and letting your world burn. After all, right now, don't forget, you're in our world.
It's not like we even knew there were people outside the walls in the first place. What difference does it make?
We don't really care what you went through. We care about what you did, because that's the part that affected us. Our trauma is your fault. You can't say the same about us.
Especially considering you were right there with us when Eren told his sickening story. You had no problem sleeping next to us that night. You and Bertolt looked real comfortable sleeping next to the victims of the families you wiped away.
It isn't just families. They went out of their way to ruin lives. They devastated our hometown, slaughtered our citizens, ransacked our military force, and did it while they cower behind their own facade.
That facade broke me. That facade made me put a gun to my head.
Your actions made countless people put a gun to their heads. I wouldn't know. I was right there. I bet you were locked away, alone in private, walling away in a dark room, right? You weren't doing it because you were scared of being eaten alive. You did it because you wanted to end your life. But the people who sat next to me, they wanted to live. The only difference is they actually pulled the trigger right in front of me. I couldn't stop them. Oh, God.
At least they got to choose how it all ended. Besides, what's a few victims compared to the entire world?
A few? I tried my hardest not to cry about it, because I decided I wanted to become stronger, especially in front of Eren and Mikasa. But my grandfather, who was one of the only adults I had left after my parents were executed, among 250,000 other innocent citizens, were sent to their deaths immediately, leaving me all alone, a scared child, abandoned as a poor refugee in a new location. When my parents died, my grandfather couldn't do much to console me. He has just lost his child, after all. I can't blame him for not being there for me. It's probably why he didn't mind marching to his death. But I feel like, deep down, He knew he wasn't able to console me. Or maybe he couldn't stand to look at the work that led to his son's death. Either way, at their memorial he gave me my father's book to remember him by. I love that book. It makes sense, right? As a kid, you're more curious and explorative by nature. So of course a book about the outside world would fascinate any kid trapped within a set of walls, like cattle. But maybe because it's all I had left of my parents, I had some deeper attachment to it. I never really stopped to think about it. It was always such a tiny thing growing up. But thinking back, that was it. It's what excited me as a kid. Whenever I felt sad, I could always rely on what was inside that book to make me happy. And when my friends looked sad, I wanted to spread that joy too. I thought it was a blessing my late parents gifted me this. It's the reason I introduced Aaron to the outside world in the first place. And that was just after the first attack.
Don't you get it? We're working with inconceivable numbers already, right from square one. You'll never be able to repent, ever. It doesn't matter what you do, nor how hard you try.
But from what I hear, it was Eldia that sent those 250,000 people out to their deaths. That was never our choice. Your people chose that. Because your people were greedy.
It's not like we knew Eldia was in such a sorry state in the first place. We weren't even inside yet. And we were getting desperate. We even lost our leader by the time we got to the gates. And it's not like we could have just waltzed right in.
If I remember correctly, Reiner reported to me that before Eldia sent those 250,000 people to their deaths, only a few thousand people died from their initial attack, at most. For the most part, everyone was able to evacuate.
We allowed them. I bust down the gate, looked the terrified people on that boat right in the eye, and made my choice. Going after soldiers is one thing, but I couldn't bring myself to go after those who had already gotten what they thought was salvation.
On the other hand, Armin, when you transformed in Liberio, you single-handedly killed tens of thousands of people. It wasn't just Marleyan soldiers either. There were innocent civilians on those shores.
You killed them with your own hands. At least Bertold never directly killed anybody.
I didn't want to do it!
Bertold didn't want to do it either. None of us did.
Don't feel bad, Armin. Aaron had gone off on his own and left us with no other option.
But the founding Titan had left us. We had no other option.
Don't let him get to you, Armin.
He's just trying to make you feel racked with guilt. He's no better than us. In fact,
He's just a pathetic old man.
We sent 4 Titans to capture your founder, one of which never even made it to your doors. We could have sent a fleet filled with soldiers to gun you all down, but I wasn't interested in a parody genocide. I just needed the founder to help turn the tides of the war your people started long ago. I didn't care how they did it. They just needed to find the founder and capture it. Yes, we trained them, but for the unpredictable. We didn't know what was over there. It was their mission to navigate unknown enemy territory. They made their decision in the heat of the moment. So, blame them. They're the ones who destroyed your walls and let the Titans in. They came up with that on their own, in the heat of the moment. What they did was never my plan, even if I am responsible for them. But they were only stupid brats who were doing what they thought was best. So, your blame won't get you very far.
You should have just left us out of it. Don't you realize how much senseless suffering you've caused us?
You weren't using the power anyways.
You took our innocence away!
Wrong. Reiner and Bertolt, not me.
But you see, it's not me, it's not my family. In your head.
They took away the innocence of the children living in Shigantian and Trost, not you. Or the lives of the civilians in Stohes and Orville who had nothing to do with this? That was your doing. You chose to involve them. Reiner and Bertolt, they didn't choose whose lives to ruin. They simply chose the closest wall. Maybe if the Titan you stole showed itself like planned, none of this would have ever happened. No civilian ever had to die. Your people chose this through their own bottomless stupidity. You people are no more innocent than we are. No human is perfect. It's about time you learned that. So get it through your thick damn skulls already, damn it. In time, we all make mistakes. Things we can't change. Things we regret. Human nature is to be guilty. But that's why we must look towards the future. There's no need to bog down our present with the events of the past. Because in the future, the present will just be an extension of that regret. It's our duty as soldiers to minimize suffering. That means ending wars as swiftly as possible.
Sir, with all due respect, we aren't soldiers. You trained us to be warriors. No mercy.
Mercilessness is mercy on a grand scale. That was the intention from the beginning. Don't you understand that? After all this time? Seriously? Do you need everything explained to you, recruit? You're seriously as worthless as the day your sorry ass first walked up to boot camp.
Mercy, you say? That coming from you? Tell me, how many sleepless nights have you spent surrounded by man-eating monsters?
That's nature. And you had walls. You escaped to your own deluded world of peace for 100 years. You can't be angry the rest of the world dragged you back down to our level. Again, it's not like you were at war. And we weren't asking you to fight in it. We allowed you to stay out of it.
It's a shame that taking the power meant that one person had to die. But it would have been a quick death regardless. Don't be selfish and think of the bigger picture. Think of all the lives it could have saved. All those years of needless suffering. For what?
The least you could do was give up a power you weren't even using. I didn't care how they captured the Founder, and I gave them more than enough time. Even after years, I still didn't launch a full-blown invasion. Despite Uldi's refusal to cooperate, I merely sent over 2 more Titans. And look how that turned out. I made the choice to decrease our battle power over here by sending away our greatest weapons. And some of those weapons were stolen. The whole world is at stake. Forget about humanity. You devils lack empathy anyways. This isn't just our world. If we don't save it, Eren will level it for you as well. You won't have a planet beyond the walls either. If you won't save it for us, at least do it for yourselves. Selfish cowards.
Save the world? How ridiculous. It's almost laughable. What a fantasy. It must be nice. You can sit there and pretend like all these unrealistic and impossible ideals can actually happen, exactly the way they are in your head, because you haven't experienced that disconnect, have you? That feeling of being completely powerless that I was born into.
The nightmarish reality that is this cruel world. Eren was right. At the very minimum, humanity needs a reminder. The proof is sitting right here in front of us.
It doesn't matter what you think of us, or Marley. The whole world is at stake. Innocent people's lives are on the line.
What does it matter if it's the whole world? At this point, the death count is so high, we'll never be able to understand what each individual life meant, on either side.
That's right. Right now, Eren is fighting. For us. We've had to throw our dead away as bait just to make it back home. We couldn't even give them a proper burial after they earned their respects. And we had to squander it. So what's the world supposed to mean to us?
We're just fighting back after years of resentment. Now it's your turn to be on the shitty end of it. You have a chance to feel the fear and the helplessness that we felt. Then maybe you'll finally understand deep down how hopeless we always knew it was.
We only killed who we had to for the sake of our mission. Armin, You wanted to know why I didn't kill you, right? I could have. It would have been so easy. There was nothing stopping me. It was the path of least resistance. In fact, Marley wanted you dead. You're dangerous in your own way, and I knew that. But on that day, as I slaughtered your teammates, left you without a horse in Titan territory, and carefully raised your hood to look in your scared, defenseless eyes, I saw a reflection of myself in you. At that moment, for the first time in my life, I made a choice. For the first time, I felt the ability to decide something for myself. I don't care if it was entirely selfish. It was a decision I was able to make, all on my own, with nobody guiding me down a path or pressuring me into what to choose. It was so freeing. At that moment, I realized something. I'm not an Eldian or Marleyan soldier, nor a Titan warrior, and I'm definitely not a heartless bastard either. Armin, the reason I spared your life is so simple. It's ironic someone as smart as you hasn't caught on. It's because I'm just like you. I'm human.
You're not! I already told Eren that you cast your humanity aside!
The fact I told you to not join the Survey Corps is proof of it. I didn't want you to die, and you called me a kind person. Maybe it's because I knew I could never consider myself such a thing. I needed someone alive who believed it. I needed to hear someone say it. If I killed you, I'd be taking away that part of myself. It would be killing the human inside of me. And I wasn't ready to let that go, because I didn't want to go back to that feeling of nothingness, the sensation of being nobody, without the ability to choose for myself. I didn't want to lose what you gave me, rather, what you allowed me to realize I had. Maybe it was selfish, but I meant what I said. Leaving you alive could have become a burden. It would be a risk to the mission, and lead to countless more senseless killing down the line. Yet, even with knowing that, I made my own decision. The fact that you're alive is a testament to that. And I respected your decision in return. The fact that I went along with your stupid and reckless plan to go to that basement, knowing full well what was going to happen, is all the proof you need.
Would a human do all the terrible things you've done?
Would a monster do all the rest I've done? Humans are complex, Armin. They do contradictory things all the time. Don't you, of all people, understand that? They don't know what they want. Their bodies move on their own and they don't know why.
Huh?
They're scared. And I'm scared. Scared that I was right. Scared that the day you become a dangerous, risky burden has come. Scared that my decision to spare you in that field has finally caught up to me. Even if you want to say Eren is justified, the whole world is at stake, regardless of what you may think of me. They're human too, and you know it, because they're scared, just like you, and just like me. In that way, can't you relate to your enemies? Weren't you afraid as your friends were killed right in front of your eyes? It's the same thing Eren's doing now, just on a much larger scale.
Eren once tried giving me advice. I didn't quite get it at the time, or at least I didn't want to. He told me that, unlike myself, the reason he's able to stop himself from trembling when faced with a Titan is because he transforms his fear into hatred. When he first told me that, I felt strength welling up inside of me. I thought I knew what he was trying to say, that in order to face my enemies, I need to face my fears head on, instead of trying to run away from them. But now, I think I finally understand what he really meant. He was never telling it to me. He was repeating it back to himself. He's probably done it a ridiculous number of times by now, strengthening his conviction to face greater and greater threats. and to become the monster he needs to be in order to defeat them. For his freedom. For the visions we want to see in the world outside the walls. It's what he does every time he throws himself into a life-threatening situation. He isn't doing it for us. He's doing it for his own beliefs. Those beliefs just so happen to benefit us and harm you. So I never gave them much thought until now. But the truth is, he's doing it because he's an idiot. I always hated it when he said that about himself. But looking back, I think I finally understand what he meant. He wasn't saying it in the traditional sense, or in any way he could understand. He was saying it in comparison to me, because he saw my natural reaction and compared it to his own. How I could put on a front to act rational, even in the most extreme of situations, and how I could use logic to defeat my enemies through words instead of action. Unlike him, who recklessly rushed forwards, head first, without any regard for his own safety or life. Because that's who he is. And he was comparing that to who I am. Similar, yet different. We were both being brave. But for me, it was all pretend. I did it for him and Mikasa. But for Eren, it was entirely real. And all this time, even now, he's not doing it for anyone in particular. Not even for himself. He's doing it for freedom.
You can't possibly defend him. He's going to kill so many people. Only a truly heartless bastard could do such a thing.
Annie.
We're not the ones who brought civilians into this. I saw it myself. Back when you attacked our home in Shiganshina, women, children, mothers and fathers, and even babies were mercilessly crushed or eaten. It didn't matter how much they pleaded, or screamed, or kicked, or ran. They were all killed. And none of them deserved it. They were all innocent. They were just unfortunate enough to be born into this world in the line of your crossfire as you transformed our small, peaceful world into a sudden survival of the fittest.
Eren once told us your kind fed one of our own to the dogs. The sister of Eren's father. An innocent little girl. That's the sick, demented kind of shit your people do to good people. In comparison, at least Eren's making it quick. They aren't suffering. They aren't being eaten alive. But that doesn't matter to you, does it?
There was no compromise. No matter how hard they begged for it. No matter who they were. Like you said, countless men, women, children, and even babies. Fed to dogs or titans. Crushed to death or snapped in half or stomped on. At this point, it doesn't matter how they died. That violence is continuing to this day, and on a bigger scale than it ever was before. We don't have to understand it. All we can do is try to play our part in stopping it from growing any larger than it already is. At this point, that's what we're fighting for. And being the cold-hearted realist that I am, I'm going to tell you right now that that's the best outcome we can ask for. So, if you want to have any kind of help at all, place your hope in that.
You have no right to say you were scared. You crossed the line from the very beginning, let alone everything you've done since. You have no right to say who's going too far.
If Grisha met those dogs who ate his sister, do you think he could ever turn his back to them? Even if those dogs begged for forgiveness, would he ever see them as innocent animals over ravenous, flesh-eating murderers who took his sister's life? If those dogs smiled or whimpered, would he not be anxious? Or would he wonder why they couldn't have smiled when they were too busy eating his sister? Even if those dogs were asleep next to him, could he relax? Or would he be tempted to take the upper hand while they slept? If that's how he looks at those dogs, how would he treat the men who ordered those dogs to kill her? What would he think of the men who were ordered to stand by and let it happen?
Forget us! You can't even trust the oppressed Eldians on Marley, let alone the honorary Marleyans sitting right in front of you. They've already proven their loyalty. If you won't bother letting your guard down around them, how do you ever expect anything to work out between us?
Can you blame us? If a Titan gained intelligence, would you turn away from it? If a Titan learned to speak, would you be at ease near its mouth? If we were to ask to be friends, would you bring yourself to befriend it? How much would you have to convince yourself it's okay when you know it's not?
It doesn't matter what we do or say. It doesn't matter how much we plead or beg.
The world already looked at us worse than dogs before this all started in the first place. So now, there's not a snowball's chance in hell they would even consider anything other than complete obliteration. People aren't like that. It's too easy.
Mikasa, I get it. But Eren, he's been fighting back for a while now. He's tired. Let's put him to rest and end his suffering.
Reiner, are you trying to play with our emotions? I've never seen such a pathetic attempt at manipulation.
Armin, you have absolutely no qualms with playing with others' hearts. You're capable of manipulating anyone's emotions whenever you deem it necessary. You've always been like that. It's because you're selfish. And it's because you're weak. You leverage your brain to make up for the difference in power. It doesn't matter who it is or how sadistic you have to become, especially if it's for someone you care about, like Eren or Mikasa. You had them defend you, didn't you? And it made you happy, knowing you faced no worry hiding behind your friends, using them as your own personal shield all your life, carelessly walking all over people like a bully. You may be weak, but you more than make up for it when you hit people where it hurts the most. Sure, we may have killed people, but what you've been doing is truly cruel.
Armin, you and I are a lot alike. We both know when to talk. Or rather, we both know when not to. You and I understand the value of listening to your enemy. Just like Peek over here, who knows when to keep her mouth shut, unlike the rest of these idiots.
In a sense, you could say we're cowards, or taking the easy route.
You harness their words and exploit them to turn it against them. It's a masterclass manipulation at its best. Psychological torture in the heat of the moment. You know the easiest way to break someone. That's because you and I are level-headed. Battle tacticians who look for any advantage we can take, even if it's the smallest one. We don't neglect it, or try looking for anything more. We take it, without question, and we use and abuse them.
At the end of the day, we're at war, whether it's officially declared or not.
We're just doing what's most efficient as leaders, because we understand the details are what matter. The smallest things.
Sorry to burst your bubble, Commander, but the one you're most like here isn't Armin. It's me. That's because you and I actually tried to understand the enemy. Eren always hated that. All the way back when I first tried to learn about Titans. Because he wanted to exterminate every last one of them. He never cared to learn or understand them. It just came naturally to me. He hated my nature. And the moment he learned of Marley's existence, the goalpost shifted.
Huh? It shifted?
He went from wanting to exterminate every last Titan to wanting to eradicate every last one of you across the sea. And when we first snuck over to your land, he never wanted to give your lifestyle a chance. He had already made his mind up from the moment he realized you existed. But, in a sense, he never changed. He always wanted to kill every last one of his enemies. He just happened to find more enemies.
How unsettling.
It was easier to kill them than to understand them. If he understood them, he may lose his drive to kill them. And that drive is his instinct. It's his purpose for continuing to live. It's the reason he gives worth to being born in the first place. Eren never wanted to understand them. He didn't even want to try. So, he hated the fact that I did.
The less you know about your enemy, the less chance there is to relate to them. It's just easier that way. To go in head first as an idiot who knows nothing at all.
But for whatever reason, you and I were born with a desire for knowledge. We're people who demand to take the hard path. So, yeah, he probably has a greater hatred for someone who would try and sympathize with his enemy than he does for his enemy himself. At least he can understand his hatred for his enemy. but he can't understand what I'm trying to do. What's more, he would hate it if I succeeded. He's the type of person who would despise having to give up that hatred more than that hatred is worth in and of itself. In other words, he would rather continue having something to hate rather than giving up their hatred altogether. You had the power to make a difference, but you chose not to.
Don't think my personal feelings will make a difference. Even if I were to see Eldians as something more than just monsters within them, I can't speak out. If I did, Marley would just replace me with someone else who wouldn't, and they would be far worse towards you than I am. After all, I'm the reason your generation had years of relative peace without a Marleyan invasion in the first place.
You're a terrible liar.
You mean like you tried to do to Bertolt? How you told him his love, Annie, was being mercilessly tortured alive.
It doesn't even compare to the atrocities you committed. He only did that to Bertolt because you kidnapped Aaron.
We only kidnapped him because he wasn't willing to listen. Are you forgetting? You're the reason we transformed in the first place, Mikasa.
Of course I tried to kill you. What kind of half-brained idiot reveals something so terrible that carelessly? It's like it didn't bother you at all, you insane terrorist bastard.
You had no idea how badly we were suffering. Even now. That's why I want all this to end. Just how long will our suffering have to go on like this? Aaron's too. I just want it to be over. For all of us.
Ending his suffering would just be the beginning of our own. It's easy for you to say. You would go home as the heroes of Marley, who saved the whole world. Meanwhile, we'll be executed as the traitors who went against the Eldian Empire. We would be treated in the same way you were, if not worse. We wouldn't even have a home to return to. Besides, do you really think we're ignorant enough to believe the entire world will forgive us? Just like that? After generations of brainwashing, and especially after something as extreme as this, the world will resent us even more than before. People have a fear of the unknown, but they fear change even more. The 100 years of peace and parity with next to no progress is proof of that. The execution of my parents is evidence of the human condition. This goes double for the world militia. Just like you, it doesn't matter how they personally feel. They will put those feelings aside for the sake of their mission, or country, or orders, or vengeance, or justice. It doesn't matter what reason they have. Even in the rare instance they spare one of us like Annie did, they would just go on to kill everyone else. And the militia are the ones with the power to fight back.
Even if I change, or even if a few other Marleyans change, the majority will not. And now, we're dealing with the majority of the world. We're talking millions of people. They will live the rest of their lives hating you, even if you save them. But it doesn't just stop at our side. The same goes for the rest of the Eldians. Even if the select few of you happen to forgive Marley, the Jaegers will continue to elevate the conflict. It's not just going to simply go away. You're staking everything on a divine miracle. But as the commander, I have to be blunt and realistic. Divine miracles don't exist. If it was going to happen, it would have already happened for the hundreds of thousands of Eldians or millions of Marleyans who died without mercy.
You know just as well as I do, without the rumbling, parity is essentially powerless when facing the rest of the world head-on like that. It's ridiculous to consider it anything but an inevitable doom.
It's not just Marley, or the rest of the world. After finding out it was Marley who sent Titans our way, sent hundreds of thousands of our citizens to their deaths, they aren't just going to forgive you. Nor the world who so effortlessly was convinced to side with Marley without giving us a chance.
They wouldn't even hear us out. Just like always.
Even if everyone sitting here right now did forgive you, it's pointless. The Jaegers regime isn't going to stop, and I don't blame them.
That's just how people are.
Armin, you once said you don't believe there are any good or bad people. When did you forsake yourself?
How dare you say such a thing?
Mikasa, it's okay. Ever since eating Bertolt, it's felt more and more like I've fused with him. Like his consciousness is becoming my own. Or maybe it already has, for a long time now. I don't really know it myself, but I know that I have these doubts. on both sides. But even then, I believe, deep down inside me, that my true self is still there. Some part of me still believes that, even if I'm not sure who that is anymore.
Well then, let me ask you again. Do I look like a good person to you?
I still don't like that phrase.
I acted in a way that was beneficial to you. I did it out of kindness, or perhaps guilt, or maybe it was remorse, or maybe I did it on a whim. But a part of myself is still deep down within me too. The only difference is, I don't doubt that. I'm confident I'm still me at my core, and I haven't changed. So no matter how far I have to go, even if I have to walk through hell, I can walk confidently, knowing that at the end of this hell, I can always return to that comfort. I'll always have my peace of mind. So once again, I'll do what I had previously. I'll act in a way that's beneficial for one side. From one side, I'll be viewed as a good person, and on the other, bad. And I fully accept both outcomes, because that's what it means to do anything in this cruel world. We have to accept the cruelties that come with it, and never look back. Last time, my actions were for you, but this time, they're for me.
You understand what Annie is trying to say, right? We're going to kill Eren. Either way, we already made up our mind. It's all about whether you want to lend us a hand. If you do, Paradis will look at you as bad people, just as the people of Liberio did when you attacked us unprovoked.
Unprovoked? Your people enacted a declaration of war. You even put on a whole song and dance performance. A thing as serious as the genocide of our people was entertainment to you, and the rest of the world that abided by it.
And it's likely the world will continue to do the same as well. But that's just something you have to accept. Because you don't know them. You've been isolated on Paradis for the past century. The world has changed in that time. So drop the remorseful act. But you do know us. So you should care whether we view you as good or bad people. And the only way that's gonna be decided is in your decision. And it is yours to make. So, what's it gonna be? Are you gonna turn back now? Or are you gonna help us kill Eren?
I just don't get it. All those years you slept with us, knowing what you had done. You have no right. No right! It doesn't even make sense for you to talk about Eren like you know him better than we do. You left! We spent years with him!
Years where you grew further apart? Years where he grew closer to me? Years where in the end, he decided to come to my land, invade my people's army, spill his own blood and risk everything to talk to me? That's the Eren you know? And who exactly is that Eren? Because it's obvious that Eren has changed. We're dealing with someone else entirely now. In fact, Annie was right. Eren's always been this way. You just refuse to accept it. You don't know this Eren. And the Eren you thought you knew never existed. He's a cold-hearted, murderous psychopath at his core. It's not Marley's fault, and it's not the cruel world's fault. Eren is unhinged because he was born this way. That's his true nature. That's the real Eren, and it always was. The Eren you knew is already dead!
Reiner, don't you dare transform, or we're all dead.
Even now, you don't consider us as a part of you all, do you?
But he's right. We have the leverage. If he transforms, we won't help them, and they can't stop Eren without us. But let's be honest, They aren't doing it for the sake of the world. They're doing it for themselves. Why would they care about strangers from another land? They don't mind treating us like devils after all. All they really care about is the people they know. Reiner isn't transforming right now for the sake of the Azumabito. He's taking these hits in hopes of us saving his mom.
Aren't you doing the same thing, though? Making lousy justifications about us, when in turn, they really apply back on you. It's only okay to let the world die if you convince yourself it's okay. Which means you know it's not okay. So don't make excuses, especially if you're going to call us out for the same thing.
You're one to speak, hypocrite. Stop acting like some morally righteous angel.
John, that's enough.
Huh? Did you hear what he said about Eren? He's a monster, a creep, a total scumbag. He's had this coming for a long time.
You're right, but also, he's not wrong. As much as it pains me to say it, he's right, too. Eren was always unstable. We just didn't want to acknowledge it at the time. He never would have made it this far on his own. It's our consistency that pushed him this far. He just needed a little nudge to take off sprinting. We took away the obstacles slowing him down. We stopped him from stopping himself. We're the reason he could keep moving forwards. With that, he could go farther than any other. At first, I thought it was just that Eren was growing farther away from us as time went on. But it's not that. Even though we thought he was, Eren was never close to us.
He may have liked us. He may have even loved us, just as we loved him. But you know it just as well as any of us. He never cared for us. He may care about us, but not in terms of who we are. He isn't fighting for us as people. What drives Eren is his fight for people like us. People who had their freedoms stripped away. That includes us. It just so happened to be us. But it was never limited to just us. And it isn't about us. Eren is a freedom fighter. That's all he's ever been. He fights for the freedom of us so that we can have freedom. But he isn't fighting for us. He never was.
You mean all those times he saved us?
This is some kind of joke, right? Hey, Mikasa, tell me you're joking. You mean to tell me that every time he saved us, he wasn't doing it because he gave a rat's ass about us, but because of some kind of selfish conviction?
It's something he was born with. I don't think we could even consider it his own fault. He's a victim of his own mindset, and he realizes it, but he embraces it. He sacrifices his peace of mind because he finds comfort in the uncomfortable. Eren was just a victim of circumstance who happened to not only be born with something to fight for, but to find oppressors to enact that fight against. It's like an urge or a dormant instinct that happened to awaken to its full potential because of his circumstance. What's more, is he actually got his hands on the power that gave him the capabilities to express his anguish and fight back. Real, tangible enemies that he can point to and focus his life's energy towards. A hardened mindset that found its purpose, and a way to achieve that purpose. Maybe it's fate, or destiny, or maybe the stars just aligned properly over the course of millions of years of life. But Eren is the byproduct of all these factors perfectly lining up, and mixing into the Eren we have today. Whatever you want to call it, it's a 1 in a million chance.
What?
So this bastard I want to beat to death. I hate him. But I didn't just beat him half to death because I hate him. I'm doing it to defend Eren. Are you telling me?
Eren's doing the same thing for us.
Eren is loyal. He's loyal to freedom, and to his friendships, but not to his friends. Eren doesn't have those. That's why he can close us all off so easily, and be content with just the concept of us. That's why all of this has happened.
All this time, it hasn't been because he likes us or hates his enemies. And it was never to protect us.
It was to enforce freedom.
And kill anyone who oppresses that freedom.
But...
That's... entirely selfish.
That isn't righteous at all.
That's not justice.
Reiner, don't you dare think this means we forgive you, or that we even like you. And we don't want to kill Eren either, but we'll go with you. Because we want to face Eren, and we want to talk to him, to see why he's really doing all this. And if it really is for this reason, then we will help you stop him. Not for your sake or the world's sake, but for Eren's sake. Because even if he never loved us, even if he never cared about us at all, Eren is still my friend, and I still love him. So I don't want him to hurt himself anymore, whether that's for us, or for himself, or for freedom. I don't care anymore. I just want him to be at peace, so he can experience the comforting sensation he's sacrificed everything for to give us. For once in his life.
No offense, but as Commander-in-Chief, I'm a proud Marleyan general, and proud of my nation I was born and raised in. And I'm proud of all the progress I've been able to make for my country. Listen up, pissants. I didn't spend decades clawing my way up the ranks for nothing. I've invested my life into becoming what I am. It isn't just my occupation. I've put everything into this. It's the representation of my worth, so I'm not gonna change so easily. I am the General of Marley. I won't go down so easily, and if I do, I'll do so fighting, on my own terms. I'll be the one leading this crusade against that maniac. I'm more qualified than any of you, so you'll be following my orders. That's just another thing I'm not willing to compromise on. You'll just have to deal with it. So, get over yourselves.
I'm not gonna sit back and let a bunch of shitheads tell me what to do.
What? Did you expect me to repent when all this was over? Or take responsibility for my crimes against humanity? Give me a break. Be realistic. After all is said and done, I'm not gonna regret a single damn thing. And I'm not about to start now. I can't stake my war on chance. We appreciate the effort in stopping him, and we will be more than glad to be the ones to kill Eren ourselves. You don't have to worry about that. But we can't risk something as irrational as your emotions towards him. So we have to know now. If there is any chance of you changing your mind, allying with Eren at the last minute, or getting in our way before we can deal the final blow, we need to know now. I'll set aside my better judgment and use my intuition on this, but you can't come with us. If in the end, you're just going to have to turn against us anyways. You Eldians always have, after all.
You want to say that again? That sounded like even more bigotry coming from the leader of our #1 enemy.
Like I said, I'm proud to be the General of Marley. In the same way you're proud of Paradis. I hold nationalistic pride in my home country as well. We both fight for what we believe in, and our beliefs are fostered in the place that we believe in, which happens to be the place we happen to be born. Devils, do you know the difference between us? I'm actually proud to be a Marleyan. Can you honestly say that you're proud to be an Eldian? You're all subjects of Ymir. You're the reason we fought all along, and the reason we continue to fight this day. It's because of your very existence that all of this has happened. You subjects of Ymir allowed Eren to become this world-ending cataclysm in the first place. Each of you was born a threat into this world. Is that something you could take pride in? If so, why even try to stop him from using the power he was born with?
If you think Ymir was so evil for making a deal with the devil, then what does that make you?
Just like you, I'm willing to become a devil, if it means protecting my home. The difference is, it's something that I can turn on and off. You were simply born this way. Surely that's something you sympathize with.
Watch your mouth, Commander. Don't talk so nonchalantly about things like that. We're all on edge. You wouldn't want us turning into devils before your very eyes, would you?
Threatening us right now isn't a very wise decision, Chief.
Huh. You think you're in any position to be telling us what to do? Let's get one thing straight. We aren't going to be following your orders. If anything, you're the ones who will be listening to us. If nothing comes from this little chat, fine by me. We'll fight. Some of you may die, and the rest will be enslaved while we wait for Aaron to finish his job. He'll come back and personally send you to hell. Do you want your judgment to come from us, or from the one with the burden of destroying the entire world on his shoulders?
Sorry to say it, but dying isn't exactly something I'm afraid of.
You called me and my family devils. You called my own mother a devil. She never did anything wrong.
She's a man-eating monster. Right now, she's quite literally the embodiment of the devil.
How could you possibly expect us to help you when all you do is belittle my people?
Don't talk as if we'll be forgiven. It's wishful thinking. We aren't exactly optimists anymore. We already know we won't. It doesn't make sense, no matter how you look at it. It's unnatural, and it's way too late now, even if we wanted to try.
The Tiber family is dead, so they couldn't take back their lies even if they wanted to. There's no way in hell Marley would ever claim a shred of responsibility for this. The world already formed an alliance and the war already officially started. That's politics. Politics is slow to change, if at all. And the cherry on top is the elephant in the room. Aaron's already wiping out a large portion of the world, even if, best case scenario, we left to stop him right now. Who in their right mind would forgive that? Even if we set our emotions aside, it doesn't even make sense logically. It's not like the rest of the world will just forgive us. We'd be dooming ourselves. Do you think we're so dumb that we didn't even notice? Are you crazy?
There's no sense in throwing our emotions away. I'm angry. I've been angry. We all have. Angry at these sons of bitches who put us in this situation now. The reason we're here in the first place. These bastards we've been fighting against all along. You cast us aside, led us astray, wished for our deaths. And we're supposed to set all that aside and help you? Screw that! I'm not doing that. Not for you. Who in their right mind would ever do something so stupid?
Ymir made a deal with the devil, and it changed her. She gained a devilish power, and you have her blood in you. Each of you have the power to transform into a devil. What's more, Ymir and her descendants use that power to ransack countless lands for countless generations. It's a savage and sinister power of evil.
We aren't evil. Enough of this crap!
It's not like I'm saying this out of my own belief, or because I was taught this by my father, who had these ideals instilled into him by his father. No. We've both seen it, with our own eyes. The devastating nature of Titans, and their endless pursuit to eradicate humanity. They'll eat you alive, and do so with no remorse.
They'll do it with a smile.
They're the true enemy.
They always have been.
There's no bargaining with them. They don't have any desire other than to kill. And that's your true form. You were born with the ability to become that devil. It's within you. Not just the Titan's power, but the Titan's nature too. The devilish blood that allows you to act on that nature. And you Eldians have done that throughout time.
General, you can't possibly be implying what I think you are.
Titans are mindless. They have no ability to act on their own. They operate on the instincts of their vessel. You. Titans aren't the evil ones. You are. We all are. Humanity is.
General, with all due respect, you act like you know our history better than we do. Isn't that the definition of cultural insensitivity?
King Fritz held us Marleyans as slaves for decades. He used the power of the Titans to wage war against the world for centuries. A relatively peaceful measly 100 years of sending Titans to Paradise as the only form of resistance is beyond generous in comparison. It's infinitely more than you deserve. All the while, Marley has been suffering in war throughout these past 100 years. while you devils, responsible for this war, hide away on your island with the only worry of Titans. Titans can't even get through your walls. The only conflict you've had to deal with from the outside world has been in the past few years. So, forgive me if I hold some resentment. I apologize for understanding our history. You'll have to excuse me from my discrimination. Yeah, I hold bigotry. Why wouldn't I? And rightfully so, too.
What? Sounds like a lousy excuse for your own imperialism. Even after all this, you can't own up to the crimes you've committed against us? Your kind fed us innocent Eldians to the dogs. What kind of heartless monster could do something so cruel?
Don't act like you're the victims here.
Huh?
We gave your people a chance. You blew it. And because of that, so many people had to die. We've all suffered because of it.
Generations on generations of hardship. But one little girl gets fed to some mutt, and everyone loses their mind. No wonder the world ended up this way. Considering how miserable you sorry sacks are, it's hard to think we didn't light a fire under your asses even earlier. I'm surprised that Eren didn't strike sooner. There are no innocent Eldians. Again, I'm not doing this just out of history or beliefs or brainwashing. It's not just that Eldians are some other race to discriminate against. We do it justly. It's out of fear. Because you were quite literally born different. A devil that has the power to change the course of history. A power to dominate in war. So of course Marley was going to do whatever we could to escape our slavery and control your power.
No offense, guys, but you're the last people I know who have the right to act all high and mighty. Who are you to deliver religious persecution? Each of us are allowed to have our own beliefs, even if it differs from your own.
Even if you seem different, you all have that satanic power of Titans within you. Nothing's going to change that. And people don't change so easily either. What? Did you expect once this is all over for there to be peace? We are actively at war. We aren't going to simply hold hands together once this all finishes. But this is bigger than Eldia or Marley. It doesn't matter what sins we've committed, who's at fault or when or how it all started. The entire world was brought into our war. It doesn't matter who brought them into it. This conflict is bigger than just us. It isn't about us anymore. It isn't about stopping Eren, or Eldia, or Marley. It's about saving the world. The war is just a side factor in it all.
Don't lie! You're all the same. You just want Eren's power. You just want to slaughter us all.
Why can't you just see the same thing that Karl Fritz saw? He repented for the sins of his ancestors because he was disgusted with his own blood as a descendant of Ymir. In doing so, he banished himself and accepted any punishment that may come to him or his people. He did so to atone for the crimes of his past. He acknowledged the fact that there is a devil in his blood, and there is in yours too. But it's like you run away from that fact. There's nothing preventing you from turning into a Titan, and your true form will be just as devious and mindless as all the rest of them.
We don't pretend like we're any better.
You've already proven you're not. All this time you've been fighting, I could see it in your eyes. They're no different than the eyes of a Titan. All this time you've been a soldier for Eren. Your actions have been just as heartless as any monster.
There aren't any good devils. Again, we've both seen it. All pure Titans are evil. You shouldn't be expecting world peace, and you won't be getting redemption either. The only thing you can hope for is the same thing Karl Fritz hoped for. The lesser of two evils. Minimal hatred. That's the best you will ever receive.
And then what? What about us? Huh? What comes after all this?
At this point, it doesn't matter what comes after. It doesn't matter who you are, nor where you come from. You can only come with us if you're willing to sacrifice everything, including your own futures, and give your lives for the cause if need be. Either way, we're going to be entering hell, and we're going to fight until the bitter end. So, I'm asking you to enter hell, and fight alongside us in that hell to the bitter end.
No offense, Commander. It's a nice sentiment and all. But what's your plan? How do you hope to even get close to Eren?
We have a plane just east of here. We'll explain on the way.
You mean one of those airships Zeke shot out of the sky effortlessly? I doubt Eren will so much as let us get close in one of those.
No. This one is much faster. You Eldians with your primitive technology wouldn't understand. How do you think we got over here so quickly in the first place?
Hey, I'm Cameron Alexis and I voiced Hanji. If you'd like to connect and hear more of my work, you can find me on Instagram at @thegothicgamer, or if you're a gamer yourself, I also stream on Twitch at Mechanimals117. Thank you for watching!
Hello, Internet. My name is Game J, and I voiced the character John. If you'd like to check out more of my work, you can find me on Instagram, TikTok, and all those social media things at GameJIsSus. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you all have a good day or night, depending on what time you watch this.
What's up, peoples? My name is Zabian Fletcher, but you can call me FletzVA. If you like what you heard and you want to hear more of me, make sure to follow my Twitter or my YouTube, also called FletzVA, where I'll be posting my readings of anime speeches. Thanks for watching. Toodles!
Heya, I'm Alice Cashman, and I voiced Donnie. For more audio samples and fun, check out my website at www.crypticpod.com. And if you like gaming content, check out my YouTube at CrypticPod Gaming. Thanks for watching.
Hey there, Ruth Ipins, and I voiced Mikasa. If you would like to see more of my work, check me out at ruthipins.com. Thanks for watching.
Hey there. I know what you're thinking. God damn, that voice is sexy.
Hey guys, AJ Chase here. Thank you so much for checking this out. Make sure to subscribe to this channel and like this video and comment. It helps the algorithm. It helps all of us. We all need help. Just help your friends. Anyway, I like to ramble a lot, so I'm going to try not to do that. The most important thing that I can say to you is I love you and I hope you have a wonderful day. Oh, and I guess I should plug my socials as well. Mr. Voicebox on everything. So check me out if you want to hear how crazy I am. Because I'm crazy.
Hello. My name is Hayden Sullivan, also known as Urchids Online, and I voiced Armin. So I hope you all enjoyed watching this cool little video we did. You can check out my space at hayden-sullivan-va.card.co. But if you want to have me in your videos, you can just come and hang out. I don't know. Anyways, take care. And thanks for watching.
Hey there, I'm Vince, otherwise known as Vince Voices, and I played Rhina in this video. If you'd like to see more of my work, check me out at Casting Call Club. Thanks for watching. Hope you all enjoyed.